Hey, awesomes. All right, as I alluded in the week 9 overview video, we'll be talking about primary research. And I had a little Google slide, which you probably already looked at and seen or noticed. So if you already looked at that, this will kind of be help hopefully explain this. So we're talking about primary research. We talked about secondary research last week. So I'm going to, and we haven't used Griserites a whole lot yet. We're going to start teasing out some concepts from Griserites. And so from these two chapters and from these pages, by way of kind of contrasting, comparing and contrasting, if you will, these two ideas. So primary research is a research you conduct yourself, right, through observation, surveys, interviews, questionnaires, or experiments. Whereas secondary research, which we kind of did last week, that is where we go cite findings, we cite scholarly interpretations, we find sources of people who have already done research. It's published material, right? It's posted on the web, which we did a lot of website analysis last week, right? We looked at Purdue OWL. We may have looked at some other collegiate websites. We tried to avoid, let's say, more of the like not popular websites, but maybe somebody's blog or something like that, right? So primary research this week, so we're not going to like cite research findings. We're going to kind of get that ourselves, right? So for our purposes this semester, an interview would be ideal. If you can't get an interview, maybe we get some questions and answers. If you have to, like through a questionnaire that you send directly to somebody versus a survey where anybody can fill it out. Try to get what we're trying to do is get information from a writing informant, and so that's really kind of our goal, is somebody who's in the writing business or English business or language arts business, someone that you might be able to reach out to in a professional way, each one of just one per group, okay, to ask them some questions about your writing idea, the thing that you and your group are working on. So kind of our components to interviewing or getting primary research, we might also say. Well, prepare some questions, set up an interview, right? So we email the interviewee, plan the interview, conduct the interview, and then report our findings. So I don't want to say it's pretty straightforward, but the critical issue is once we set up or speaking with this person, or we've sent questions right to somebody, so we want to make sure that we have effective questions that we're asking that we can then use, right? They're relevant to our topic, they're open-ended, we don't want to have yes or no questions, they're clear, and they're applicable, meaning that the questions we're asking are going to solicit the type of responses that we can then use in our paper and for our and go towards making our idea sticky, right? Because that's our ultimate goal. About 3 to 5 questions is more than enough. 3 minimum, 5 maximum. We don't want to overwhelm, somebody. So to think about effective questions that are not yes or no or even one word answers. So what is X? All right, so X would be your writing idea, right? Or what is the purpose of X to you? Remember, we're soliciting from it. How would you help someone struggling with X? How would you teach someone to X, right? Some of these are different worded because it depends on what you're talking about, right? What are the keys to writing a strong X, right? A hook statement or conclusion. How do you write a strong X? How do you write a strong hook? How do you do this or that? How would you advise someone to improve? What would you do? I can't read. What would you advise someone to do to improve on X? What is an exercise you might use to help someone with X? All right, so I'm going to go ahead right there. So I think that's what's key, if you will, to having these effective questions, is that they are getting at the heart of what we want. So when we set up this interview or we email to try to get contact with somebody, let's make sure that we have email etiquette. I got this information from Mr. Timothy DeWitt, so I wanted to pay homage to him. Professional salutation, dear so-and-so. Introduce yourself, the course, and the project. Request an interview, state the time that you need for the interview, and then obviously close in a professional way. And so I'll pull up a sample of that in our next video. We'll continue with primary research in the next video, guys. All right, be back soon. Stay safe, stay awesome. Bye.